So it's not a controversial take that partners are a problem. In CEDH, if you're playing more than two colours, then the odds are it's probably a partner pair. But I'd argue that everyone is missing the magic of partners in the shadow cast by CEDH. This is how we can make partners fun for casual Commander. First, we need some context. A quick scroll through EDH Rec tells a dismal tale. The only pairs in the top 200 are both Tymna plus Blue Piles. Both are major players in CDH, so why don't casual players use partners? Well, it turns out that having an extra card with no downside is actually quite good. Being a social format, winning isn't always the main goal. Most people just want to showcase a cool strategy. Now, partners are great at winning, but they're often just value engines with no unique flair at all. It can often just feel soulless, card draw for card draw's sake, and as such isn't fun to pilot or face. So how can we change this? I believe that partners can be super fun. One way is to find pairings which contrast. Build a deck which supports multiple themes. This juxtaposition can give you a really cool and unique angle for deck building. Personally, I've been building a Malcolm and Tormod pairing. It sounds a bit weird, sounds like there's no synergy, but honestly it's the most fun I've had deck building in ages. It's been great balancing and intertwining the different sub-themes. Now, I'll probably make a deck tech once it's finished off, so if you don't want to miss that, consider subscribing. The second way is to find a pairing with some niche or unexplored synergy. I came up with loads of cool and wacky combinations while I was doing the research for this video. This one might be the coolest though. Livio, Oathsworn Sentinel, with Nadir, Agent of the Duskanel. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those right. Now, this could be a super sweet Aristocrats deck. It's not hard to cheat on Nadir's triggers to get extra value. Alternatively, you could build it as a combo deck. All you need is to find a way to untap Livio and you're off to the races. All you need is a bit of mana. Then again, you could focus more on flickering enter triggers with Livio. There are genuinely so many different directions you could take it. I'll leave the rest up to you. If you're looking to find a underrated partner pair for yourself, then they're all on EDH Rec. You only have to scroll through approximately 5,000 commanders to get down to the bottom. Yes, I actually did this. No, I don't want to talk about how long it took. After going through all of that pain, I immediately discovered the partners tab. Why do I do this to myself? For those of you that value your time and sanity, I will put at the end 5 cool partner combos with less than 100 decks each. So be sure to stick around for that. And if you find any cool pairings yourself, do let me know below. With partners, you can essentially create your own commander. Wizards of the Coast would never print a Boros Artifact Landfall Voltron commander. But with partners, you can make it happen. People are missing out a huge amount of unexplored design space by skipping these options. The possibilities are truly endless. I can't tell you how many sick ideas I've had while making this video. Ideas that sadly will probably never see the light of day. I simply do not have time to build every random concept that I come up with, but together we can begin to chip away at this design space and eventually chart a course for those to come. As of the time I'm recording this, my Malcolm/Tormod pairing only has 4 decks on EDH Rec. That's the sort of thing that gets me super excited to play Magic. The fact that after 30 years, millions of players, and more than 100 sets, only 4 other people have ever owned a similar deck. I just think it's so cool that you get to design your own Magic card with the colours and functions that you want. Now, I get that partners can have a bad rep in casual, but if you build a super cool deck, no one's going to mind if you're using a strong mechanic. Rule 0 conversations make a massive difference here. Explaining to people a little bit about your deck can take a lot of the target off your back. Generally, I would rather have as short a Rule 0 conversation as possible. I just really love discovering everyone's decks, one card at a time. That being said, don't try and game the bracket system to sneak in a stronger deck. I think we all know someone that's tried this once or twice. When it comes to actually building the deck, there are a few things to keep in mind. EDH rec probably won't be there to bail you out. If you found a pairing with very few decks, then you'll have to dig deep into Scryfall. Some pairs have a very clear path for how they should be constructed, but for most, they just leave it wide open. If you're playing with contrasting partners, it's super important that you take the time to support each of your themes fully. For the most part, you'll want to make room in your curve for both commanders. This just gives your first few turns a load of consistency. For example, in my Malcolm Tormod deck, I always want a cheap pirate in the first 2 turns. As soon as they're swinging, I can get Malcolm out on turn 3 and start generating treasures. But from there, I get to choose whether I want to play Tormod or if I skip straight past him with the treasures. Now you can work out for yourself whether to have a supporting commander and a main commander, or whether you want to utilise them both equally. Personally, I love building in a separate package for each commander and then figuring out how to overlap them. Again though, with partners, there's no right or wrong way to do things. Whatever strategies you like are on the table, enabled by the adaptability of your commanders. Partners are so underutilised that it can be a breath of fresh air as long as you're not building Timna. So, I started off this video by saying that partners are a problem in Commander. Now, to a certain extent, that's very true, but players have responded to the issue by shutting out entirely, burying their heads in the sand and hoping that the problem will just vanish. Instead, we should accept that it was a design mistake, but we can look beyond that and the world of possibilities that it opens up for us. I think that it's sad that so many cool concepts are doomed simply because of a single keyword. So, if you enjoy tinkering and brewing as much as me, then these are the perfect cards for it. If you embrace it fully, then you can create decks which no one in your playgroup could have ever imagined. Don't know about you, but that is what I love about Magic. Now, as promised, here are the 5 pairings that I talked about earlier. Number 1 is Sidar and Breaches. I mean, who doesn't love flanking pirates, let's be honest. Breaches can generate some major card advantage here, aided by Sidar. Conveniently, a lot of good pirates are power 2 or less, and they love attacking. Armix and Glacian could be a really cool control deck. Armix takes out a creature every single turn, and Glacian can recoup the card you're spending on Armix, as well as fueling your graveyard. Also, Dimir artifact strategies are just cool. Alharu and Radiant could be a really cool mono-white Voltron deck. Radiant is super hard to remove, and with a little bit of help from Alharu's +1/+1 counters, can actually 3-shot players. You can also generate plenty of flying tokens with Alharu to help Radiant stick around longer. Chilrana and Ravos. Personally, I love cheating mana, and the only thing better is when it also draws you cards. You can cast expensive creatures with evoke triggers, and then rebuy them next turn. You can also use token synergies to cast expensive spells with Convoke, drawing cards along the way. Last but not least is Rograk and Dargo. This is probably not the best deck to bring to a casual table, but regardless, you can just do some super degenerate combo stuff with it, and that's the sort of stuff I love, to be honest. I will let your imagination do the rest. If you're inspired to build any of these pairings, or you discover any for yourself, then let me know below. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you enjoyed. Honestly, it helps out a ton. Hopefully, I'll see you in next week's video. But until then, have a fabulous day.